During the Viking Age, Scandinavian women used a vocal technique called Kulning to herd their livestock that were grazing free in the mountain pastures. It's a technique that was developed over 1,000 years ago, but the practice still continues today. People in Viking villages kept cattle, sheep, goats, pigs, ducks, geese, chickens. And during the warmer summer months, they would remove the cattle, the sheep, the goats to the mountain pastures where they could graze free during the day, and the land down in the villages could be used for farming. They would produce the crops that they would need to see them through the winter. It was the woman's job to go with those herds, where they would stay without the company of men for 5 months of the year, tending to those animals, caring for them, looking after the temporary home, milking them, turning that milk into cheese, which they depended on to get through the winter. And it was a solitary life for a large chunk of the year. On their own with the animals all day, they built relationship with them. The animals knew who cared for them. And as a woman on her own, she would sing to pass the time, and the animals would learn her voice. So when she turned them out to pasture for the day, at the end of the day, when she called them in, they would come. Now, the women, I think, enjoyed the time on their own. Their method of calling to their livestock was entirely their own. I think there was a lot of responsibility in that, but I think also a great freedom and a sense of power. I love the idea of the annual migration to the mountain pastures, to the temporary farm, where a girl or woman would really come to know herself. She would learn of her own strength. She would rely on her own courage and discover that she did have what it took to get things done. Now, there would have been other women tending to other herds on other parts of the mountain, but I don't think they saw each other very much. However, they did look out for each other. There were elements in Kulning that the women used to warn each other of predators or dangers in the landscape. Or if they couldn't find one of their animals, the women would call out that there was a missing cow. And if another woman found it, she would respond that she had the wayward animal. Now, how did they do that, you might ask? Well, the remarkable thing about Kulning is it could be heard up to 5 miles away. Interestingly, the animals would respond better to different sets of sounds. So when a woman was calling for her goats, she used a sharper, more guttural style of Kulning than she did when she was calling to the cattle. It would be longer, higher, drawn out pitches. Oh, oh. Get up. Kulning was improvisation. There's no set song you sing to bring a cow home at the end of the day. Each woman made up her own song every day and literally kept it going until the cows came home. What that could do for a woman's voice, for a woman's confidence, for a woman's sense of self was incredible. The practice of Kulning was begun out of necessity. Women used their voices to call to their animals. They did that for centuries. Now, in the last 50, 60 years, things have changed. Our approach to animal husbandry has changed somewhat, and the art of Kulning is disappearing. But we have wonderful artists who are using these ancient vocal techniques and incorporating them into music that we are listening to today.